Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss on the topic potentiometric titrations. First of all, how we can define these titrations? As the name indicating potentiometric titrations, it means the titrations which are involving the determination of cell potential for determining endpoint of the titration. So these titrations involve quantitative estimation of substances in solution by the measurement of potentials. So what is the principle of these titrations? The endpoint of the titration is detected by measuring the change in electrode potential of a suitable electrode, which is known as indicator electrode. This indicator electrode is immersed in the solution to be titrated. The solution which we have to titrate, in that solution we immerse the indicator electrode. And this indicator electrode is further paired with a reference electrode, and these both are connected to a potentiometer. Now, as the titration is carried out, there will be a change in concentration of ions in the solution. As a result, the electrode potential of indicator electrode will change. How it is happening? First of all, we are taking here the indicator electrode in the solution which we have to titrate. And this indicator electrode is paired with a reference electrode, which are further connected to a potentiometer. As the titrant is added from the burette to this solution, there will be a change in the concentration of ions, due to which the electrode potential of indicator electrode will change. Now, this indicator electrode has been connected with a reference electrode, whose electrode potential remains practically constant. So what will happen? Any change in the electrode potential of indicator electrode will lead to a similar change in EMF of the cell. Now, to determine the equivalence point, we will measure the EMF at each stage of the titration and plot it against the volume of titrant added from the burette. So what we will observe, near the end point, a sharp rise in the curve is obtained, and the corresponding volume of the solution on the graph will give us the volume of the solution used for titration. Now, there are various types of potentiometric titrations. As per our syllabi, we will do two types of titrations: acid-base titrations and redox titrations. First of all, we will have a detailed description of acid-base titration. In case of acid-base titrations, hydrogen electrode is generally used as an indicator electrode, whereas calomel electrode is generally used as a reference electrode. So how it is done? A known volume of HCl is taken and indicator electrode, which is hydrogen electrode in this case, is dipped into it. It is further connected to a saturated calomel electrode through a potentiometer. Now, as the titration is carried out, the base NaOH is added from the burette. The pH of the solution will change because of change in hydrogen ion concentration. Now, to monitor the titration, EMF of cell is noted after each addition. So this is the setup for potentiometric acid-base titrations, in which left-hand side we are having hydrogen electrode dipped in HCl solution. This is connected to calomel electrode through salt bridge, and these two are further connected to potentiometer. Now the titration is carried out and NaOH solution from burette is added to this HCl solution in small installments. Due to addition of this NaOH solution, the concentration of hydrogen ion in this electrode changes, which ultimately lead to the change in EMF of the cell, as the electrode potential of saturated calomel electrode remains practically constant. So the variation in this electrode potential will be directly indicated in the variation of EMF of the cell. Now, electrode potential of hydrogen electrode is given by this expression at 298 Kelvin, where E naught is the standard electrode potential. Now, pH is related to hydrogen ion concentration by this expression. So, we can write here E is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 pH. Now, EMF of the cell is given by electrode potential of cathode minus electrode potential of anode, which is in present case electrode potential of saturated calomel electrode minus electrode potential of hydrogen electrode. As the electrode potential of calomel electrode remains constant, so the variation in EMF of cell will depend only upon the electrode potential of hydrogen. Now, as the titration is carried out, there will be decrease in hydrogen ion concentration in the solution, which will result increase in pH and thus decrease in electrode potential of the hydrogen. As the H plus is decreasing, electrode potential of hydrogen will decrease. This will decrease and this is practically constant. This implies EMF of the cell will increase with decrease in hydrogen ion concentration. So as the EMF is plotted against volume of NaOH added, it will increase slowly at first and more rapidly as the end point approaches. The steepest portion of the curve that will indicate the equivalence or end point of the titration. After end point, further addition of NaOH will produce a little change in EMF. Now, to locate the endpoint more accurately, we also plot slope of the curve, which is given by del E by del V, that is plotted against volume of alkali added. As we can see here the plots, this is the plot of EMF versus volume of NaOH added, and here we are plotting the slope of this curve, which is del E by del V against volume of NaOH added. This point will give us the endpoint or equivalence point of the titration. Now next one is the redox titrations. Redox titrations are carried out potentiometrically by using redox electrode. So in this case, indicator electrode is redox electrode. This electrode consists of a platinum wire dipped in the solution containing oxidized as well as reduced form of the same substance. This redox electrode is further coupled with a saturated calomel electrode, which is acting as a reference electrode. So we will discuss the titration of ferrous ions with ceric ions while discussing the redox titration. So titration of ferrous ion with ceric ion, we are getting here Fe2 plus Ce4 plus are in equilibrium with Fe3 plus cerium 3 plus. Now indicator electrode is a platinum strip dipped in the solution of ferrous ions. This indicator electrode is further connected to saturated calomel electrode. Now the cerium 4 plus ions in the form of ceric sulfate solution, they are added from the burette and the cell potential is recorded after each addition. So what will we observe? Again, similar to acid-base titration, we will get a sharp change in the curve near the end point. So this is the setup for the redox electrode coupled with SCE for redox titrations. Here we are having saturated calomel electrode on the left hand side. On the right hand side we are having this indicated electrode in which platinum wire is dipped in the solution of ferrous 2 plus ion, and the solution of cerium 4 plus ion is added from the burette in small installments. Now the EMF of the cell will directly dependent on the electrode potential of this indicated electrode. As it variating, the EMF of cell is varying. The reason being, the electrode potential of saturated calomel electrode is taken practically constant. Now the electrode potential of this indicator electrode, or you can say redox electrode, is given by the following equation, where Fe2 plus ion are oxidized to Fe3 plus ion and N is equal to 1. So on plotting the cell potential against volume of steric ions added, we will get this kind of curve, and end point will be determined from this inflection point. So what are the advantages of potentiometric titrations? These titrations do not require any internal indicators, so they are very useful in case of colored solutions where internal indicators can't be used. Second thing, for acid-base titration, the information about the pH range for selecting an indicator is not required in potentiometric titration. We have to just measure the EMF of the cell and we will get the end point. These titrations can also be used for titrations of polybasic acids or the mixtures of strong acids and weak acids with the same base. Such type of titrations otherwise are not easily obtained by the general method. In these titrations, a mixture of several components can be titrated in the same solution without any interference obtained. So these are the various advantages of potentiometric titrations. This is all about potentiometric titrations. Thank you.